AEW supporter. That was a good show. That was a good show. Like we can get into it. Like CM Punk and Samoa Joe.
Let's talk about the show.
Surprised the hell out of me.
Let's go. All right, which one we need to say about that? Let's go to the show.
Like that,
I do kind of want to. We don't have to go through every match, but I kind of want to go through at least the
main hitters.
The main big hitters.
Yeah. But like just in general, like that CM Punk Samoa Joe match was actually good, and we didn't have to worry about the go to sleep. He did the Pepsi plunge off the top rope, and I'm like, oh shit! Like that surprised me how good they worked and how good that match was. And Joe being Joe, like Joe looked great. I think he looked the best that he's looked on since being in AEW. I'm like, this was a good match. This was a really good match.
I love the whole Joe walking away from.
That spot he does. Yeah, that is hilarious.
It's hilarious. The fact that so many people have like caught on. They're like, yo, he's been doing this for a long time. Like,
like the
I definitely think. I thought it was a good match, solid match. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Samoa Joe supporter, so I was hoping he would win. I still don't really understand this real world title. Is this like the actual title on Collision or what is it? I don't know, but I definitely thought it was a great match.
WWE,
Punk sold everything.
It's the championship he never lost. It's the championship he won. It's the championship he won before he got into a fight with the Elite. So it means something.
If he's allowed to keep a title, he's allowed to say what happened.
At this point, right?
I don't want to hear about, I didn't lose the title. Okay, then tell us why you didn't lose the title. But yeah, I thought it was a great match. CM Punk sold everything, and I was okay with the finish. But yeah, for what it was, between them, obviously these guys have been just fucking going.
I thought it was going to be a crap fest, and it actually being good. So I was happy with it.
Very solid opener. I mean, the chemistry and the history between the two, you knew you were going to definitely get a very good match between them. Like Lewis, like pretty much that both of you mentioned about Samoa Joe's spot that he does, and then obviously as much as we kind of bashed Punk a little while ago, as far as in ring goes, I mean he's as smooth as they come. So you're never gonna get a bad outing from him. So definitely a great way to start the show. I know some people online are now saying they want to go back and watch the match now with the knowledge of what happened in the backstage. But
why didn't they put the belt on Joe? He's suspended. Why didn't they do it? But no, I thought that was a good opening.
If Joe would have won, they would have been like, so that's why he won, because he got suspended.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even remember was the Stampede match the second match, or was that?
Nah, the second match was the six man tag with the Golden Elite against Bullet Club Gold and Takeshita.
That match,
I was impressed by Takeshita. I was impressed by him. I haven't really seen him go like that, but I was impressed by him in that match.
I like the match. The finish, I did not like whatsoever. That surprise ass pin out of nowhere, and I'm like, and then it was just over, and I was like, well,
it protects.
You guys have top stars in this, and this is how you're gonna do this?
Lewis, I felt the same way too until they announced that they were going to be facing each other at All Out this weekend. Yes, and then I realized, okay, that's why they did that. So because they're going to face each other again.
I feel like
he's going to be the
man. And this is my thing, like with Kota Ibushi, I'm like, maybe I'm just wanting to see more, but I'm not seeing, I guess, the mystique of like supposed to come with him and how great he is, and I'm just like, I'm waiting for him to like show me. Like, I mean, when we're at the show, obviously we have the best spot of seeing everything, but I'm just I know he's a striker and he can go, but I'm like, can I get a singles match with him? Like he's literally just been in these matches.
I think they're doing that to work him in. I don't know. I mean, he was out for a little while, so I think they're doing this in a way to kind of protect him and kind of bring him along. But yeah, I was like, especially when he came to NXT during the Cruiserweight Classic, I was like, oh shit, it's Kota Ibushi. Like, we all heard about him. Like, oh shit. We saw a little bit of him in there, and then of course I'm like, WWE dropped.
Should have won that tournament. Wait, did he?
Nah, he
didn't.
He lost in the semifinals. Yeah, I remember. He lost in the semifinals.
Cedric won it, or was it?
It was what's his TJ Perkins.
TJ Perkins. Yeah,
TJ.
But Cedric got signed during that tournament because he lost, and they were like, sign him or like give him a contract.
Yeah, please sign Cedric. Yeah. He has a Bushi.
Yeah, just from that NXT experience and seeing him in that, it's like, this guy's gonna be the next star. And then you hear about his New Japan run, and then he won the New Japan Wrestling title, and then it was a short run, and then he got hurt. And it's like we're waiting to see this mystique about him. But I understand what you're saying, Lewis. But I think this is their way, kind of trying to bring him along and try to get him acclimated into AEW.
That makes sense, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Takeshita, that dude's big and it's hard as shit.
I was impressed by him. Like, I was like, oh shit, he's kicking ass. Like, he's a hard hitter. Like, I was more impressed by him than Kota, but it was just like seeing him. He stood out in that match to me. Like, hanging with Kenny, hanging with those guys in there. And
he's been having a lot of good spots. Like, from the matches I've seen with him, like they're trying to, obviously the whole Don Callis thing. Oh, he's trying to be the new Kenny or whatever. And like, I could see that. Probably needs to a little more. Maybe, I don't know, like standout moves, I guess. But
he'll get that. He'll get that.
Yes, coming. I mean, they put him with Don Callis for a reason, so they definitely did see something in him. So big things in the future.
What do you guys think about FTR versus the Young Bucks?
I love that tag team. I actually think that match is not getting enough praise for their psychology.
I don't think so either.
Exactly. Because the one thing that people always criticize the Young Bucks about is, they don't have any psychology in their match. It's all high spots.
Okay.
This match with FTR did incorporate some psychology. Like, you look at some of those finishes. They took the two finishes from the previous two matches, incorporated them into the match, and actually had people thinking that the match was ending at any given moment with those.
Yeah. There was a couple times when it was like, shit.
I was
exactly. And then on top of it,
it wasn't like just the kick out. It was like, oh shit, this match is done. And then it was like, so they actually got us. I mean, is that credit to FTR or is that? I mean, it's credit to the Young Bucks as well because they're actually able to do that with a tag team like FTR. So to do that as well. I thought it was a pretty entertaining match. I'm like, okay, these guys got quite a bit of time there. What do you guys think about the ending of them not shaking hands and continuing? Because I think they're going to be facing each other at All Out, right?
Actually, no. So I actually watched the first, I think first 45 minutes of Dynamite, and they did address this. So there was a backstage segment after the match where FTR kind of asked the Bucks, okay, well, what's going on here? Why didn't you guys shake our hands? And then the Young Bucks tried to explain to him that, like, we were just in the moments, over 81,000 people. We wanted to win. And then they stood up and they were about to shake hands. And then Bullet Club Gold came walking in, teasing the Young Bucks about them losing, talking about, this is the winner's locker room. Why are you guys in here? And apparently at All Out, and now at All Out, there's going to be an 8-man tag with FTR and the Young Bucks versus the Bullet Club Gold.
Oh,
so yeah, that's what that turned into.
I can see.
I guarantee that the Bucks are just going to turn on FTR. Whatever. But that was definitely a good match. And this is where AEW shines with their tag teams, and it's just like, why isn't WWE just and mind you, I feel like there's more trios than tag teams in AEW. Way more trios. I'm honestly trying to think of like actual tag teams besides FTR and Young Bucks at this point. But it's just like,
tell me, Lewis. Tell me. Yeah, how are you gonna say AEW cares about tag team wrestling and they only be able to name 2 teams?
Because they're still getting they're actually challenging for the titles. Actually, no, I'm lying. You got the Acclaimed.
Okay, here we go. Okay, you're naming up the teams of the Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed. You got House of Black, but this is what I'm saying. I'm guessing every group.
They're at least what you're saying is that they're at least tag teams
titles,
that form
so not just
that form into trios.
Like FTR
they
or
form
the
into trios.
You know?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. They at least have tag matches, legitimate tag matches.
Yeah, I'm just being an asshole. Yes.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was still a great match. FTR and them two are always going to put on a great match. Was
the way they did the Shatter Machine.
Yeah.
That was dope. I liked how they did that and finished that. We can get into the most gnarly match of the night. The Stampede match was just
Daniel, you match of the night, right? match of the year candidate. Top 5, top 3? What is that what we doing?
I will give the top spot to one spot, and there's multiple spots, but there was one spot that stood out to me the most. With the damn skewers in John Moxley's head. Yo, I can't believe Penta was just like, bang, and then literally dug into his head and just like,
oh, Jesus.
And then he stood around walking with it in his head. I'm like, no way, bro.
I'm like, they couldn't have planned that.
Okay, this is the one thing about AEW. That one thing about AEW that I hope that they wouldn't do in the years prior, but now that they've clearly crossed that line. I think I mentioned it in the chat. I think I said to you, Daniel, it's getting to a point where even barbed wire is considered minimal. Now just think about that for a second. Like, if I hit somebody with a barbed wire bat, it's supposed to mean something. Now, in AEW, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing now because I've seen a man with fucking skewers in his head.
It's a Kendall stick.
How do you go above that now? As far how do you get even more hardcore than that now?
Pizza cut.
No, don't do
no, not the Nick Gage stuff, please.
And I was impressed by Orange Cassidy in this match. I didn't know he was that type of guy to take that many bumps and stuff like that. I thought he was just kind of like a comedy wrestler.
No, he takes it a lot. I mean, this guy's have 30 title defenses.
I did not know to that level. Like some of the stuff he was doing, I was just like, holy shit. And then he taped up his hand with the glass and shit. Like, it's like, what the fuck?
Daniel, that's why I think you admitted it in the chat. You have to say that at least the way the finish was executed, that was good. That was very good.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, despite of what I think about the skewers and the brutality of the shit and the fork and they had the Terry Funk branding tool and he was digging it in the guy's head.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, regardless of what I think of that, the match was highly entertaining. Those type of hardcore matches entertaining. But yeah, the finish, how they set that up with Eddie Kingston tackling Moxley and Claudio taking the punch, like that was dope. So, I mean, again,
I love that final shot of Eddie Kingston and Moxley in the corner, both knocked out with Kingston sticking his finger up in Moxley. I love that. I love that shot. Like if someone took a photo of that, I know it's on social media somewhere. I need to get that.
It's gotta be something.
That's a great shot of them.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big Orange Cassidy fan, and like Brian just said, like dude has had so many titles. Like he's elevated that title a lot, more than the damn TNT title, which I think is fucking great.
Whoa. Christian adds prestige to the title.
He does.
It's not his title. It's not even his title.
Going back to the international title. Just listen to this book after this match. So they announced on Dynamite that Orange Cassidy was going to defend his title against Penta tonight, and the winner of that match, as the champion, will defend the title against Moxley at All Out. Now, will common sense tell you that Moxley should face Penta and the winner gets Orange Cassidy for the title?
Heel booking. Tony Khan is building the authority.
I thought it was a triple because I'm literally watching Dynamite right now, and I can't hear it, but it just showed Orange Cassidy, John Moxley, and Penta, so I'm thinking it's a triple threat match.
But, well, unless that one-on-one match didn't have a finish. But this isn't WWE, so.
No.
Tony Khan is building the authority. Heel booking.
The only thing I didn't like about that match was I know it's a stadium, and I think I was when they were up in like not the rafters, but that like upper level. Yeah, I feel like I feel like they didn't really do much up there, and then it took
It
forever for Eddie Kingston to come downstairs. I was like, dude, where the hell is? I'm like, everybody that was up there is already down here. Where the hell is Eddie Kingston?
He went to the bathroom.
Yo, I was saying the same shit. I was like,
yeah, he'll be back.
He's like, oh shit,
fish and chips.
He's like, oh shit, I got a shit. But no, I think that took away from a little bit because it's just too spread out. Like,
yeah,
it is. It's just too spread out.
To keep going forward. But I mean, unless you were doing like certain spots and be like, all right, we're gonna highlight this. Everybody else chill. All right, we're gonna go do this, and then we're gonna do this, and boom, here's the finish. And yeah, I think the beginning pacing, I was like, but then once the ball got rolling, I was like, oh, I actually thought,
it just started picking up.
Yeah, I thought Penta was actually hurt at one point. I'm like, if this was really hurt off a damn pile driver, I was like, yeah, I gotta tell everybody to stop doing pile drivers because that is not safe. We do not need another Steve Austin, Owen Hart, or whoever situation, you know. So
yeah.
But
they play into it. If you don't see the, that's the sign. If you don't see,
he was twitching. This dude was like, yeah, and I was like, and I feel like I haven't seen the X in AEW. Have you seen it, Brian?
Yeah, Matt, I have. Yeah, they did. They put the X up when Matt Hardy faced Sammy Guevara. And they did a spot where like Sammy knocked Matt
broke his nose or whatever.
Yeah, or not like Matt landed on the back of his head, like he was actually like concussed.
Yeah,
and because the stipulation of the match was if Matt loses, he has to leave the company. So they kind of was like in a shitty spot. So I think Matt still had a concussion, but but like they stopped the match for like 2 minutes. Matt still was concussed, so they went right to the finish, which was Sammy Guevara climbing some shit and falling off, and then so the match was over.
Oh wow!
Shit.
Matt Hardy wrestled with a concussion, but they had to do it because of where the angle was set up.
Now, a match that I was definitely surprised in was that Darby Allin, Sting, Christian.
So was that the next match?
No, it was the women's title match.
It was the match for the women's title.
Yeah, that was next. Saraya Page, as WWE fans would know her, won the title in front of her family, in front of her country. I like that match a lot. I thought it was good so far, but I just like.
It was very short.
Yeah. Like, what's Shorty's name?
Hikaru Shida or
Shida. Yeah, Shida. Like how I'm like, she just won the title. She just won the title.
Well,
she probably had like a month or 3 weeks.
Not even that. I don't think. Yeah, because she won it on a random Dynamite, and then So, but
I didn't even know that she had beaten.
Yeah, she won it on the 200th episode.
What did she beat? Jamie Hayter?
No, she beat Toni Storm.
Toni Storm, that's what it was.
But I did like the back and forth between Toni Storm and Saraya, like how they were like, "Hey, I was supposed to win. I did like that.
I love the fact that they finally broke the Outcast up, and I really like it from the standpoint of because your women's division lacks so much depth right now that you really can't afford to have those three together. You need to spread them out. So, and on top, I was really surprised at the reaction that Britt Baker got because I was expecting her being in because London is like the smartest of smart fans. I actually thought that she was gonna get like a greater reaction than she did, but I guess because Saraya being the hometown girl in that equation, obviously took from it. The love that she came out to Queen. I mean, my first memories of that song are from the Mighty Ducks. So every time I hear that song,
I know it's also nice using her mom in the spot too.
Yeah. Like
her mom's actually a legit wrestler too.
Have her whole family out there, her brother, her father. Have you guys ever seen that movie they did on her family?
I've always wanted to, and I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I watched it on the flight once. It's actually a very good movie. Yeah, it's very good. Building up to her debut on Raw.
Yeah.
So
I know it's in
definitely a good watch.
Who's AJ Lee? It's not Zelina. Or was it Zelina? Was Zelina AJ Lee?
Yeah, Zelina was playing AJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
All in all, kind of like I said, I like them breaking up the Outcasts, and obviously, obviously right now with Jamie Hayter out, I believe that the biggest star they have in their division, I think it is Saraya Page. So yeah, I thought it was Britt, but they're probably gonna announce that match for All Out, probably Britt against Saraya for the title.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, I thought it was an okay match. They worked with what they had in the time constraint, so I did like the match. But a match that I was surprised by, what Lewis I think was getting to, was Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay. Chris Jericho still being able to go.
That was a great match.
Like he's able to pull it out. Like he's able to pull one out his ass.
I'm telling you, Chris Jericho will whip out a 6-pack once he needs to, and it's just like, how?
Like, to pull off what he was doing in that match with Will Ospreay, who was going 100 miles per hour. I'm like, Chris Jericho, man.
Bravo.
Yeah, exactly.
It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be.
It really shouldn't be happening. So from now on, anytime we should not. Nobody should ever say Jericho can't keep up with anybody because that match was a combination of like of technical stuff, and then you got Will Ospreay with his aerial offense, and I mean, Will Ospreay really is one of the top 3 wrestlers in the world right now, if not number 1 right now. If you really want to look at it.
Oh yeah.
So
the fact he's about to be a free agent too, easily. I mean,
he's going.
I definitely think AEW is a great spot for him. Hopefully, they would utilize him right because he has been highlighted a lot. Mm-hmm. But I feel like he could also really thrive in WWE as well. Though
he doesn't want to. I saw him in an interview. He doesn't want to go to WWE.
Really?
Matter of fact, he doesn't like WWE. He thinks WWE is too. What's the word that he used? I don't know what word he used, but he pretty much said that like WWE is more primarily on the acting side than what he does. Which is funny because when he said that, I was just like, well, is it selling technically acting? So what
professional wrestling.
I mean, but if you're selling an injury, you're technically acting like you're hurt, right? So
and that's one thing I'll say about WWE. They don't sell injuries or feign like body parts like they used to, like in the early 2000s, like when a person hit their knee or something like that. I mean, Bianca Belair recently is probably the most we've seen somebody favor their knee or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But just in general, with like selling moves and actually that part of it, they don't do that as much anymore. But Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho was just a fantastic match. I was impressed by Chris Jericho. After the match, I was just like, yo, like, I was just impressed by him. Like, he can still go, man. We can get into the last match of the night, MJF versus Adam Cole, a spectacle, their version of the Bloodline, of course. I thought it was a little bit overbooked at points in time to like towards the end with Roderick Strong and stuff like that. But overall, the match was pretty good. I thought Adam Cole kind of being the heel in the match in a sense, which is weird because MJF has been the overall heel of the company that we've seen so far since AEW has really come into life and stuff like that. So to see that mindset and see that type of back and forth between the two, will he, won't they, who's going to turn on each other? And I thought for a moment Adam Cole did turn heel in the match when Roderick Strong loaded him, and he did go for the pin. So I'm like, did he turn heel? Like, was that the heel turn? And then it turned out, no, that's not the heel turn. But what do you guys think about this match?
Can I go first, Ryan?
No, you can go ahead. You got that.
For me, I think I enjoyed the match. Definitely, I think the Roderick Strong thing was really needed. I mean, they kind of hinted at it like towards the end, like I guess leading up to All In. So then for him to come out and help, and I'm like, obviously,
I didn't think it needed.
I don't think it needed it, but it did add an element because you got Cole. We know these characters. We know Cole's a great heel. We know MJF is a great heel, and for them both to actually play these roles where they actually care about one another, I think it's a whole different side. I think, like Brian said, it was like, it's a story we've never seen before. especially on a grand stage where that's where you take your moment and you grab the title and you do whatever it takes, whether you're a heel or baby face or whatever.
Yes,
exactly. But I feel like even in WWE as well, I don't think we've ever seen a situation where it was two baby faces and the baby faces ended on good terms, or there wasn't a heel turn. I feel like WWE, it's usually clear cut. Here's the heel, here's the baby face, and I think this was a new territory where they built it up correctly, where they were like, no, we can have a clear-cut winner, but we don't have to have them turn on each other. Which I thought was still great booking, because what better moment to see than Adam Cole and MJF, put on a hell of a match and then still be celebrated at the end, for being in the main event, so.
Absolutely. I just thought it was a good match. I thought it was good psychology in the match. I thought MJF doing the dive, I always loved that spot from him where he's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not confident in it. And then he actually does it. So it's like all his little stuff that he does in
matches. So great this guy is. It's a simple tope dive. And he got that shit. He has that shit. He got that shit more over than people who do it on a regular basis. That's how great this MJF is.
Yeah.
I love it every single time he does it, because he really sells it. Like, he really sells it. So that's always great work by them. So All In was a pretty good show. All Out is this weekend, I believe, as well. So I'll try to check that out as well. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show for AEW. A good way to stamp their mark in the UK and stuff like that. Of course, the CM Punk controversy, hopefully that dies down and they're able to resolve that in some type of way that at least moves on from that. And I don't know what they're going to do with his title, because it's like he's suspended. How long is he suspended? They're in Chicago. That's a CM Punk town. Is he really going to be suspended for All Out? Like,
real world interim title. That he's going to come back with the same title and be like, this is the real title.
I wonder if the fans are going to hijack that show, honestly.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I mean, here's the thing. He's not on it. I think they're in Chicago tonight for Dynamite, and from what I saw, the fans weren't acting that way. But for the actual pay-per-view, maybe.
Oh no, absolutely. Because I mean, like, they need CM Punk there. Like you're gonna suspend it. Like, that's a fatal blow. Like, I don't know. And from both sides, it's like.
Who is he gonna face?
I'll tell you this much though. I guarantee you, we're gonna get a fuck Jack Perry chant though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But it's just like, at some point, just talking about the controversy, it's like, is Tony Khan going to be at some point like, all right, I'm sick of this shit, or is CM Punk going to be on the other side like, I'm sick of this shit? Because both of them kind of.
apparently that was a new report this week, guys.
Yep.
Apparently CM Punk got so frustrated that apparently he got into a heated discussion with Tony Khan in the locker room.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what I saw.
He hates being here now, and now their relationship is contentious.
But I'm just like from CM Punk's standpoint, not just to shit on him, but it's just like everyone's coming at him with little shots and stuff like that, and from Hangman Page and all that stuff with the Elite and stuff like that. People are taking shots at him. Or is it rightfully so? I don't know, but it's just like people are taking shots at him. He went out there, had a good match, and just all this other shit that's going on. And then from the company standpoint, it's like, yo, you're always in some type of controversy. You're always in some type of shit, and it's like. We can't take 2 steps forward without taking like 5 steps back because some shit that happened or some shit that was said in the interview. Or
just to say one more thing about that, if it does come out that Jack Perry really was the aggressor in the whole situation, then I really gotta start looking at Tony Khan, because it's just like your biggest draw. Yeah, yes, he's been involved in some altercations, but if he hasn't been the aggressor per se in all of it, and your talent is purposely going after him, you need to have a sit down with some of these guys from that standpoint, or maybe you need to figure out or actually have a sit down with Punk and actually figure out, like, dude, what exactly are you doing to like ingratiate yourself with the locker room, or are you doing anything at all? So
at this point, it's like, do you need security? Do you need security? We know you weren't picked up at the airport and you were pissed off about that, but it's like, do you need security? Do you need a driver? Do you need an extra layer of like security? Because it's like, yo, you keep getting into these altercations, and it's like, the hell. as I said, if I was AEW, I'd be like, we got to learn, and especially if I was a booker, I would be like, we got to learn how to like flip this shit and make it a storyline. Like I would have CM Punk be the diva, have security, be a prick, like have him just like that's the only way, because it's like all these situations are not looking favorable for anyone involved.
Yeah.
So I would try to flip it and just try to figure out a way to make it stick. Definitely make it stick. But we can get on to. Hold on 1 second. Let me just pull up our numbers here for our payback picks here.
All right,
pull up my stats, please.